Again, the most important piece in my in this machine, in my opinion, is actually the squeegee. Squeegee does the water pickup. All right, it's going to pick up all that dirty water. And again, right, yellow. When you see yellow, you can access with your hands, your fingers. You pop it out. This is your vacuum hose. Now you notice this has to stay on the loop at all times. All right, that's why we have this loop here, because when it's done vacuuming, it's going to collect that little water right here. It's like a little pea trap, all right? Exactly. All right, so here's your squeegee. We recommend that after every use, pop this out, give this a rinse. That's mandatory, because throughout time, if this dirt all gets picked up and built up, it'll be very difficult to clean, and you'll get a lot of streaks. When you see streaks, again, all these callbacks, there's a lot of streaks, it's because the squeegee's not cleaned up, all right? Now, in a couple of weeks, you're gonna have to flip these over. So pop again.
What's the average time for the squeegee?
It all depends. So let's say you run this 5 days a week.
No.
It will take probably on one edge. Yeah, it'll probably take 4 weeks. Average. About a month for one edge. All right, just like your windshield wipers. And you can always flip these over. All right, so when this gets worn out, you don't have to remove it and throw it away. Just flip them over. You get 4 edges. So let's say 4 months of use.
4 months.
All right.
First week.
Just line it up with the holes that you see on the blade. And obviously the one with the little holes here, that's the front. This is the rear, okay? Just follow the blade. Again, this little triangle piece right here. Wrap around it nicely.
No screws.
Okay?
No screws.
So if you happen to be
No
running
screws,
and
yeah.
you're seeing streaks behind you, just stop. A lot of times you just need a microfiber, clean it, and then continue on.
Now here, not too tight. You don't need a wrench. Nothing crazy. Just finger
Hand
tight. Hand tight. Yep. All right. Very good. So now we know how to put our pads.
Question.
This is where you put your water. This is how you change your blades.
What are those far knobs for?
Pardon me?
The far knobs. You got those two things on the stick. On the far side.
The ones, that's to pop all the way out. You got the front squeegee up. If you unlock that, we'll pop the front squeegee. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. All right. Next, battery maintenance. Batteries are the #1 service calls we get. Simply wise operators forget to check their batteries. Simple as that. So every 2 weeks we recommend check your batteries. These are wet cell batteries. You need distilled water, all right? Not tap water from the sink, not bottled water, not Poland Spring. Distilled water. So make sure we have that. And we recommend that you check these once every 2 weeks. Doesn't mean you're gonna fill it up every week, every 2 weeks. Just check it. Usually, after a month of use, one of these caps will get dried out, so it'll get empty. So if you check right here for example, and again, what I'm gonna teach you now here is gonna be the same for your other machines. So let's pay attention to the battery part. You can see that's how it should be filled up. Just enough to cover those plates and not to the top, literally like an inch from the top. If you fill it to the top and you close that and you charge this up, yeah, the acid is gonna start boiling, it's gonna turn white. You're gonna see a lot of white spill out, slippage, and that's dangerous. It could burn your fingers, all right? So again, that's how it should look like. Any questions?
Are you gonna have somebody check that periodically, or Demo?
Yes, whoever uses the machine.
Somebody else.
And they're independent cells.
Okay. Yep.
They're
However
independent. They're independent cells.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
this, just because this is full, doesn't mean that's full.
Yeah. All right.
Just for y'all to understand.
check
So
all
then
12
whoever
caps.
uses this should just check this instead of, because nobody will know
Yeah,
when's the last time
it was
the other
seen,
person
that's
checked.
what I'm
So
saying.
that should be,
Your
I don't know, you
pre-machine
tell
check.
me, but
Every
I think
day.
that should be
Every
part
day.
of your maintenance before using it.
Right, pre-ship
And
it.
what we're gonna do also is provide charts for you. So before you operate, all right, after you operate, and what you need to do weekly. And under weekly, it tells you to check your batteries. I highly recommend when you go to get on it, or when you shut it down at the end of the day, check them. And the reason why is that way you'll never have a problem with your batteries. Typically, what goes wrong with your batteries is you allow the acid to go dry, and it ruins the batteries. So,
We're gonna have still water supply in the front.
Yeah.
Got it already?
We used to have it for the old ones.
I don't know, but that's why I'm asking questions.
Yeah, you weren't here, but we used to have the distilled water for the other ones.
All
But
right,
that was a
moving
big
on.
problem.
Pay attention. Here's your fuses, your circuit breakers. Okay, they will pop throughout time if the machine gets warm, gets hot, maybe something gets stuck in there. You'll see red flashing lights right here. Turn the machine off and just double check there's a fuse that pops out. All right. Now, while the seat is up, you have an onboard charger right here. It's very important. You must leave this seat open when you're charging, because if you charge it with the hood down, it's going to get that rotten egg smell. That's because all that steam and the acid right here is not ventilizing, so you got to let it ventilate. Same thing with your dirty tanks. I'll open the dirty tank right here. Here's your dirty tank. Let this air out. So this is how it should look like when it's charging, cleaned up, all right, and you're done with use. Okay. So leave this open. This is a filter that prevents the water from going to your back motor. You could also rinse this as well. All right. One more point that I want to bring up with charging. Like I brought up, the first reason of batteries dying is neglecting the cells. You're not charging the battery. You're not filling it up with distilled water. The second way batteries die actually is when you unplug it while it's still charging. All right, makes sense? So don't opportunity charge it, is what we call it. Like we do your cell phones. You could always go to your car, your desk, in and out. These are lithium batteries, totally different. Wet batteries, you want to wait till it's fully charged. And you'll see the indicator here. It'll go from low, medium, full. All right, so you want to wait until this green light all lights up. Okay. So for example, hospitals do this a lot. So many shifts, so many machines, a big fleet. What they do is they run it for 30 minutes. Someone forgets, they charge it up, then the next shift comes in, they plug it out while it's still charging. When you unplug the outlet, you kill one cycle. And you're defeating the purpose of getting the use out of it. So the more you do that, your cycles deplete and your batteries won't last more than 1 year. So if you properly charge it, it should last you about 4 to 5 years, ideally. All right?
So that's like saying I use it and it's fully charged
Yeah.
and I'm finished with it now. Don't charge it.
Good question, actually. So we have like a 30-minute window. So let's say it's fully charged, you ran it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you can charge it up again. That's fine. The old mythology was wait till it dies out, charge it back up. But now with the new system, these are newer technology batteries, there's a 30-minute window where after 30 minutes, you can charge it up and walk away. It won't overheat, it won't overcharge. Really plug it.
Now let's say we'll take it for all day. We'll use it for 6 hours after play.
Yeah, this gives you about 4 or 5 hours.
5 hours at full battery.
Yes.
Okay. So you leave at 1, the other shift comes in at 3. How long does it take for a full charge?
Very good question. So it's 1 to 2.
2 hours?
So,
charge?
nope. So if you ran it for 2 hours, it'll take 4 hours to charge.
You ran it for 6 hours.
It won't go to 6 hours.
Middle time.
But yeah, probably about 4 hours. So usually 8 hours is the max. That's why you have the second one too as well.
So then you buy.
All right. So it's
Only
good
one
question.
person can buy.
It's double the runtime. You ran it for 1 hour, it'll take 2 hours.
Yeah,
You ran it for 3 hours, it'll take 6 hours.
we have most of
And if you want to check your hour meters here, we have an hour meter that shows you how many hours you ran the machine. Right here.
Do you want to unplug it?
No, no need to. If it's plugged in already and it's green, you can just let it sit
Let it
until the
sit
next
and
person.
roll like a standby?
Yeah, just don't unplug it while it's still blinking or charging.
Okay.
All right? Let's be on the same page. All right. Whereas, again, those are the main 2 ways to kill a battery. Filling it up and consistently unplugging it while it's charging. Wait till it's charged.
If it's charging and I need to use it, don't use it yet.
Emergency purposes, I get it. That's what you can do. It's not going to kill the battery in 1 day, no. If you consistently do it.
So occasionally if it happens, you're gonna be okay, but you don't wanna do it consistently.
We don't have to. We have other scripts. We have other scripts. So we don't have to do it.
That's when they pour the batteries every year. But you guys know.
But we got more than one sheet now.
Right. You got 2 scrubbers, you got 1 ride on burner.
That's our old one.
Just take them off.
Necessarily have to use one.
No,
No, we don't want to.
No, we don't need that.
These are spray bottle holders.
Get a couple of them. Believe me when I
All
tell you.
right.
Take them out. That's cool.
We have
That's a good way to
All right, good. Any questions? Again, this is the main emphasis of the training really. It's really batteries. To really understand how to maintain your batteries. And you see the other machines are the same. All right, so let's just recap. That's how you put your pads, right, from the bottom. Always rinse and check your squeegees. Okay? Rinse out your tanks right here. This is right here is the dirty tank. This is the clean tank. Okay? Another tip throughout time, this might get all clogged up. So you can remove this and just rinse out your hoses. If you do like a fine detail clean, that's not every day. It's like once a month. So you can do that. All right.
Keep in mind, the machine's only as good as you maintain it. So if you're not maintaining it, it's not going to last.
This still tilts back? This still tilts back?
Sorry?
This still tilts back?
Yeah, you remember. That's an option. So yeah. If you wanted to bucket fill it, you could go backwards like this. Good point.
Could you also fill it from the front?
Yeah, and you can do it from the front as well. All right.
I'm trying not to use those.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Some places, the janitor's closet, you can only reverse in, and then you'll pop this backwards. Sometimes you go from the front. But I prefer to go from here
Yeah,
if you have a
yeah.
hose. If you don't have a hose, you can go through here.
We got hoops.
So many areas to fill in.
Okay. Next option is right here. Okay?
That place small.
Yes. It could come off. Yep.
It's on gas in the work.
What's under there?
This is the water. This is how you. Yeah. All right. So we're ready to go. That's all the maintenance items. Again, batteries. Check your cells every 2 weeks. Don't unplug it while it's charging. Wipe out your squeegees. Hose it down. Remove your pads when you're done using it. And again, I really have to emphasize this. It must look like this when you guys are done with it. When it's charging, cleaned up, it has to all look like this. Both machines. Right? You want to let this air out.
Is there a float in the dirty water tank?
Yep.
You know when there's hot water?
Right here. Good question. That floater right there, and it will trigger a light.
Stop on the back.
Yeah, right here. Stop on the vacuum. It'll let you know. Good. You know your machines. Good. All right. When we're here, we're ready to go. All right. Turn the key to the right. I do want to point out, this is an emergency stop button. All right. If you felt like you get close to the glass or an escalator or hit a wall by accident, everything shuts down here. It beeps. Turn it off. Pop it out. Turn it back on. Okay. Let me reverse so you guys can all see. All right, so let's take a look at the control panel. It's very simple to use. From left to right, we call this one stop button. So when you hit green, everything just drops, ready to go and operate. These are your pre-settings. Ignore this. This is just a setting if you wanted to add solution, which we don't have. If you want to just pick up water, you could just hit this only. All right, and you can see it'll drop the squeegee. If you just want to pick up water or floods, spills, you can just do that. All right. I always recommend start on economy. Start low right here. So this is your pound pressure, your pad pressure. If you go level 3, it's about 120 pounds. That's really for like thick wax, dirty floors. Yeah, well, or maybe like removing a layer.
Like removing a layer.
But we don't want to do that. That's for dirty areas. Really for like polished concrete, loading docks. Here, fine stone, keep it light. Keep it light. Water flows well. Keep it minimal. You actually save water, obviously, economy. And you make less dumps and refills if you use less water. All right, and just close that. This is ready to go. All right, that float switch that you asked for, when that's full, this will pop up, this light.
On the second dot.
Yep, and when water runs out, this will light up. Okay. Your battery meters are here. Just to let you guys know, same for all the machines. These are brand new batteries. You're not gonna get your first 3 to 4 hours. You're not. It's gotta get a couple cycles. Your first round will probably take 30, 40 minutes. Then you charge it, it'll take an hour. So after, we estimate about a month of use, like 20 to 30 charges, then you'll see your full 3 to 4 hours runtime. So in the beginning, it's gonna run maybe 1 to 2 hours, all right? If this little booklet lights up, that's your check your mechanic, your manual, and you can call us for service. But we also have a fine page manual that shows codes when things go off. Yeah.
troubleshooting?
Yep, troubleshooting codes, and I can show you guys that afterwards. All right. Any questions before we operate?
If you're doing just deck down.
Yep, deck down. You can just hit this, and then you release the
Same thing as
the
the
vacuum.
SpeedGleam
So I'll go
does.
like that. Boop. All right. So actually, I'll do the deck down first, just to show you one technique. So we call this double scrubbing. Drop the pad down, but I'll turn off the squeegee. So now I'm just gonna run the pads. I'm just gonna wet the floor. Give it a couple seconds. Now the pad is down. Water's coming out now. Okay, there it is. This is double scrubbing. Usually do this in an area that's very dirty, where you just want to let it go a couple times. And now this is with the vacuum down. Yeah, dude. Back down. Very well. Very well.
The squeeze is too good.
Try it again. Now, when you're done, always turn off the button, but keep the vacuum down. Just go back on one trail, kind of like we had earlier, and just going forward. Shut that into it. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, that's not it. So here you gotta just manually do it. Alright? All done. And then, let's say we're done with the machine. Open your tanks. You gotta open the seat first. Alright, and you can see, picked up some solution there. Alright? Again, rinse this out, rinse your squeegee, remove your pads, check your white battery caps. Alright, always rinse it out for the next person that uses it, alright? Alright, so that's the scrubber. Any questions on that? Good? Perfect. Alright, I'll leave this here.